What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. As promised, I am going to cover Super Janemba, just his stats and stuff and what you can do. I have the tier list pulled up for a specific reason. I have separated a couple things here and there, but if you look, we're going to be using the 6-star version. Gives him his double buffs. There's no reason not to. It's probably the best scenario for most people, especially the ones who did go hard in the banner. But as you can see, his stats are very similar to what you would see in a very squishy offensive unit, similar to Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta, and Super Gogeta, two other ones that I did put on the Z tier. And over here we have the main ability and unique ability. Wicked Ambition draws a green card for plus 35% to strike damage for 30 timer counts, minus 10 to your own strike arts cost for 30 timer counts. And then we have 15 timer counts has to be elapsed, which isn't a terrible thing to fulfill. You can do this easily with Baby and then swap and use Wicked Ambition. Unique ability, Sounding Menace applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield or stores ki by 30, which is really important because it allows you to start offense with a card, switch into him, get his 30 ki back, and then he gets additional 40% for 15 timer counts. So if you guys notice, it's there for a full combo, and the 15 number makes sense here. Gradually restores own health for each timer count for 30 timer counts, which is really good, meaning that this starts up, right? This finishes, this starts, he can use Wicked Ambition and he still has heal, which bumps his survivability, kind of makes his squishiness in the top tier amongst all those characters negligible. And then Hope Crushing Evil Power, plus 30% to damage inflicted against episodes, sagas from the movies, and reduces the damage received from them by 20%. And while he's on the battlefield, he gets plus 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts every time the opponent uses a green card, and he reduces the enemy ki by 30, which limits their options, following options, makes it harder after they vanish. What should they do? Makes it more costly to use the blast card over a strike card. So many things occur because of this passive here. His claw gives massive slice damage, and it gives bleed on hit, which is really good for against crisis units. Is good for dropping their HP to safer levels, so that maybe you might need to just tap them to win and stuff. His green card, he counters blast arts and tap shots, and when he's charging forward, that's what happens. The animation happens almost immediately, and then he amobos a enemy, and then gets plus 75% damage to the next strike arts or special move arts, and damage inflicted. It cannot be stacked, right? So you don't get multiple of these. You can't go Imprisonment Fist, Immobo, Imprisonment Fist, Immobo, and get a whole bunch of percentage damage on your next attack. After you do this, the only buffs that will be applied are his buffs in his ability, and if you haven't used main ability. And then the kicker here is if the enemy is episode Saga from the movies, it destroys all of your enemy's cards, which is really, really good. It makes a lot of bad matchups into good ones. He gets 10% defense down against strike on the opponent, which is this strike card over here. Very, very good. And he has some pretty good equips overall. He's got this one, the movie one. He has got Kaioken. He's got access to the Cell one, the Bois. He's got access to this Broly one, which is relatively easy to get. He's got access to a lot of the movie ones. He's got access to the Demons or Dimension Sword. There's a lot he has access to, and because of that, it makes his entire loadout pretty good. He has two of the best equips in the game. Pretty much Kaioken is one of the best for strike characters in that. So I would say Kaioken and this one, and any of your choice. It can even be this one right here, Awakened Hold On To My Shoulder. Next, we're gonna go straight into his bad matchups, and these are personal opinion, but feel free to leave your opinion down below in the comment section. We've got bad and good So some of these over here are actually good matchups for him. So bad matchups overall. Yeah, it's a lot of blue units and anti-regen units, which make it harder for him to deal with, but these get checked by a lot of other meta teams. Godki gets checked by Lineage of Evil. This blue Goku and Saiyajins gets checked by Lineage of Evil. These guys get checked by Lineage. So like Lineage still being around, but not as prevalent, obviously. Checks these right here. So his good matchups are obviously this entire row and this entire row right here. Cooler, despite being blue, the extra damage he gets, just tear through the unit. Yellow, very self-explanatory. Vegeta has no defense, so that damage buffs comes in handy against Vegeta. Green Goku is pretty tanky, but once again the buff kind of just lets him deal with him fairly easily. Buhan's also here. Buhan's a good partner. You can tear through Bojack, you can tear through Cell, like these are common units you'll find on higher tier teams. And he can actually slice through them fairly easy. GT Goku's a little hard for him to deal with. He is very tanky and it takes a lot of work to take down this unit versus like Purple Cooler, which you get additional boost in damage. Yellow Gohan, very easy. Goodbye Gohan, as Goresh says. Super Gogeta, Bojack is not tanky at all, so he gets minced fairly easily. So what I have here are partners, really good partners with him. This is 4 on regen, 4 on movies. Movies cover a lot of his weaknesses, they cover lineage, they cover matchups that he has no issue, like a lot of issues winning, which is the top ones right here, including Super Baby. So this Cooler gets to deal with a lot of these. This Gohan gets to deal with some purple units, especially this Goku right here. Bojack is just a good cover change to have. He's got a green card. I think, no, Gogeta and Cooler have green cards. So they can generate green cards for you. Super Baby makes you tanky. Cell and Bojack, the two things they have in common is good cover rescues. Buhan does tons of damage with Zenkai and Majin Buu. Zenkai, by the way, any Zenkai at 7 star is generally just Z tier, but I keep him at S plus as a more realistic approach because not everyone has these units as Zenkai 3 to 7. But yeah, he's giving double buffs to Buhan, making Buhan pretty ridiculous and cover coloring blue for Janemba pretty much. So like these are really strong allies to have. They're also outside of these two, they're also pretty good matchups except Boot Baby. So Janemba, the reason why I put him on 7 star is he just does everything an offensive unit wants, and he has some oppressive features, as in putting the opponent's key on a green card, immobilizing, increased damage, buffing himself to higher defenses for movies. He's debilitating and he's also very damaging. He's also got a really good strike card that allows you to do extra damage to the opponent, and so on and so forth. So people can argue that he belongs in S tier because of his squishiness, but I think a lot of his switch-in traits and combination of Super Baby or maybe movie teams with Bojack cover assist makes him a bigger threat of a unit than people would normally give him. He becomes scarier over time, I feel, as the game ages, mainly because these units will most likely stay at the top for a little bit longer, until obviously we get full-on reworks for other lower tier characters. And Janemba chews through some of these Z tiers fairly easily in most of the S plus tiers. With that being said, it's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. If you enjoy this content, you can catch me at Twitter and Instagram. I do post quite often some opinions here and there about the game. And I'll be doing an Omega Shenron and Baby prediction sooner than later, because they will be coming soon. We saw it in the V-Jump not too long ago, and we'll be learning more about them. Omega seems pretty broken.
But you can catch me on Instagram and Twitter. Socials are down below. I also stream on Twitch every Tuesday through Friday. With that being said, you guys always gotta remember, keep it